Hello friends, welcome back to Typescript tutorial. Last day we discussed about the class object concept for inside the oops concept in Typescript. So in this video we are going to discuss about the access modifier concept with the oops concept. Okay, so what is access modifier? Actually, access modifier is used to control the visibility and accessibility of the class members. So last day we discussed the property and methods. Actually, these are the things. This is the class property, or you can say the class members. So we can control the visibility or accessibility of the class members. So basically, there are three types of things. One is public, uh, then another is private. Sorry, and another is protected. So basically, there are three types of things, three types of keyword, or three keyword to use to access modifier. Okay, so we can distinguish these three things with a three parameter. So one is accessible, with the class. So here, all the three things means public, private, protected. Protected. All the three can accessible within the class or with the class, then accessible with the subclass. Accessible with subclass. So here is the change actually. Public and protected type of data or methods, or you can say the property, we can access with the subclass, but in for private we cannot access from the subclass. The next thing is from outside of the class. Outside of the class. So here, from outside of the class, only public can be accessible from outside of the class. Okay, so let's discuss with some examples so that it will be more clear. Okay, so first, let's going to create a class, and we're going to create all types of data. Suppose inside the class, I just going to create the public, suppose name, and use the type, so it will be string. Okay, now I just going to define other things like private session or class name, anything. Okay, so it is also a string, and this is actually the private. Now another things, I just going to declare a protected variable. Suppose age is protected, and here right, protected is an age is a number. Okay, so all the things we created. Now let's create a constructor and try to use all the things. Okay, so first of all, here we will accept the name, which actually the string type of data, and then session, which also is string type of data, and next age, also a number type data. Okay, now here just use this dot name equal to what we get from the object, this dot sessions equal to sessions, we just assigning these things, and this dot age, age equal to the age. Okay, so I just going to create the class, and then we can understand what are the difference between these type of things, means private, public, protected. Okay, now here another things, uh, let's create another functions, public, suppose get details. Okay, and we'll type this as a string, and now write return uh, name, this name, and age, sorry, and age, this dot age. Okay, so first of all, let's I just going to create these full things, and then we can understand. And then here write public get session, and this also return the string type of things, so simply write string, and here write return simply just uh, return the variable. Okay, so nothing need to do. Okay, so I just said for protected we just use the subclass concept, means here we will discuss about some inheritance concept also. So here this person will be the parent class, and another I will going to create the child class, so that we can understand the protected type of data. Okay, so simply write class, another class I just going to declare. So let's go here and write class, and here write student. Okay, and actually it extends the main class. There is a parent class, it is a person. Okay, now here I just going to create another things for the student class property. I just going to create another private things, that is uh, that is student id, and this will be the number. Okay, now let's create a constructor, and let's try to understand all the things, means here the name, session, string, all the things, and also I just use the student id also a number, and here simply use the name, session, age from the parent class. So simply just call the super. There is another keyword. So we will hope you can understand all the things, means the basic JavaScript concept, so that you can understand what is the super and how actually constructor working and all the things. So if you have any problems for these type of things, please see my JavaScript tutorial also. I already provided the JavaScript tutorial, and recently I published the JavaScript complete playlist with a one video, so that you can understand quickly. Okay, so here super is the keyword, or super is the functions you can use. So basically for parent means by this super we can set the value for the parent class also. So here you write name, we just passing the data, that is the session and the age. Okay, so here if you write these things, that means we are passing this constructor data to the parent constructor also. So if you call this student class, that time if you create object of this student class, then we can pass these things and we can set this data to the parent class also. Okay, and now for this student class we have a property, that is the student id, and we are setting the value here. Great. Now another things, I just going to create methods for the student. So student method, so here write create another function, suppose public, and get student details, and obviously this will return the string type functions, and here just like a return uh, dollar this. Here I just going to call the parent functions, that is this get details. Actually this will be accessible, and here I just going to pass another things, and just write here and employ and student id is here with local variable, that is this dot student id. Okay, so all are ready. Actually, we have two class, that is the one is person class, another is the student class. Okay, so let's check all the things, means public, private and protected property, and let's understand. So here just go to the full view. Okay, first of all, let's wrap these things and we will concentrate only the main class. Okay, so here just create a class, sorry, constant. I just going to create a new object, that is the person object, equal to new person. I already discussed in the last video how class object is actually working. So here simply write John, and here write session is 202526. These are sessions. Okay, the string type of data, and the age is 30. Okay, so here we passing these three things and we are setting these things, and if you call all the things we'll get. Now here I just going to check this. So let's console dot log. Here I just going to use this variable, right? So console log this name. Okay, so console log person object dot name, and here I just going to access all the things. There's a public property, there's a protected property, I think it's private, and this age is the protected property. So when we going to print that things, the person object and name, then here you can see the name has no error, but here the error is in sessions and age. What is the problem? So here you can see the property session is private and only accessible within the class. Means if you going to access this private property, we can access from only the same class, means from the person class. From outside we cannot access. Same like age, this is a protected property and we cannot access from the outside. Actually we can access from the class, from the main class, or if you want you can access from the subclass also, but not from the outside. Okay, now just console dot log. Here I just going to call these functions get details. So inside the get details we have a name and age, but the method is public, so that for that reason, so let's call a person object dot get details that can be accessible. Okay, so these are not accessible, these are throwing error, so just closing that things. Now if you refresh, so you can see the name John and age 30. From the get details we are getting access of the age, but this age actually not accepting. Okay, so if you check, it's actually error. The age is protected and only accessible within the class person and its subclass. From outside we cannot access. So understand how actually it's working. Now the next thing is, if I going to access from the subclass. Okay, so let's close these things and we are going to call this new object. So we will use that things and we will access the student, and here this is the student object, and here inside the student object we have a name, sessions, age and student id, and let's pass the id, suppose 10. Okay, so constructor is created. Now I just going to access the id. So simply write console, just like previous we just going to print console.log student object, and here I just going to access the student id. Will it accessible? Because this is a private property, so we cannot access. Okay, so let's make it public, then there is no error, so we can access. But the private property is not accessible. It is the same for person and the student class. Now I just going to access another property. Means suppose I just going to access the get student details functions. So here let's refresh. So we can see student ID is 10, name John, age is 30 and age 30, and student ID is 10. So here we can access the name, get details. From the get details we can access the name, age and the ID also. So from the private property we can access from outside of the functions. Actually we are calling the public property, and from inside the public property we are accessing these things. That's the reason actually we can get access of that things, otherwise we cannot access. Okay, so we are calling the functions which actually the public property, but in the same class private property accessible. So in the methods we are accessing the private property. That's the reason we are getting this output. The name John is 30 and the student ID is 10. This is actually the private property, so we can access through the public methods. So hope we can understand, and I will suggest you practice and try to do with the try to habituate with the public, private and protected property, so that you can understand clearly. And still if you have any questions about this video, you can comment me in a below comment sections. So next day we are going to discuss about another oops concept, another oops property, we are going to discuss about the read only property, how to do with the read only properties. Then we'll access, then we'll create a lecture on inheritance concept, abstract class, implementation interface. Okay, then interface, the abstract class interface. So there are some topics left in the oops concept in the Typescript. So please keep in touch and subscribe this channel for upcoming video. So thanks for watching this video. Have a good